At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. Find out how we're helping others pursue their dreams and declare your own at amfam.com/dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance Company, American Family Mutual Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
God bless the flag, we all beating our chests. When it's peace, it's the same old game, the same old players, same old names. Right. My skin is my sin. My skin is my sin.
What's good, fam? How's everybody doing? It's been tough. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And hold on, I'm not sure who this is. Give me a moment, 2492. First off, I want to let y'all know y'all tune in to My Skin Is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to guys, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. All right. And I saw a lot of interest for this show, so I'm going to kind of just jump into it. And AJ, Sean, when y'all call up, I'll get y'all in. And I want everybody to know, first and foremost, my deepest condolences to the families affected. We've had this type of show before. Unfortunately, I don't think this will be the last one. And I've been thinking about how to approach the show for a while now. And I'm going to get to you in a second, AJ. I see you. And if y'all can't hear me, you know, my phone is a little janky. Let me know. I apologize in advance. Just hit me up in the inbox or something or tag me somewhere and let me know. But anyway, I was sitting up thinking about how I wanted to do the show. You know, and initially I was just extremely just so fucking angry. You know, I wanted to just get on and just start screaming. And I thought about it, you know. I'm no less angry, but I'm determined. I put out a call. Matter of fact, I put out a challenge to some police officers to call in. And actually had quite a few people reach out to some people they knew. And some people said they're going to call in. We'll see. What we're not going to have is calling people out their name. There's a lot of pain in our community, to say the least. So for you cops out there that's listening, this is not I hate all of y'all bitch session, excuse me. But if you don't understand how we feel and how frustrated we are right now, then the problem ain't us. So you have to, you know what, I'm not even going there. It is what it is. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm fucking disappointed, especially in the police officers of color. I saw a young lady, an officer from Cleveland, Nakia Jones, who spoke out. First thing I thought about was she didn't say shit with Tamir Rice got killed. I had to check myself because maybe that just wasn't her tipping point. I myself needed a tipping point to become a better man. Maybe that's her tipping point to become a better officer, and more importantly, a better black woman. So with that being said, man, I'm sorry, AJ. I just had to rant a little bit, man. Let me get you in here. What's good, man?
What's up? What's going on?
How you doing, man? I'm angry, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say this right now. People that's listening right now, y'all just will have to check me tomorrow, or check me on the language that I might use today. I'm not calling nobody out their names, but I'm fucking angry. I might get a little edgy, and I don't know how to censor this right now. I don't see why I should be politically correct at this point in time.
I will say one thing though, AJ. If and that's a big if any of the police officers decide to call in, I want to hear their answers. Not to you specifically, AJ, but to our listeners. I want to make sure that whatever we ask them, if they answer, I want to hear what they got to say.
Facts. See, that's another thing that I was thinking about. As angry as I am, especially if we get like some black police officers to call in, this is not the time when black people should be attacking each other.
Right.
If this doesn't make you appreciate your fellow black man, and you're still saying the C word type things like, well, what about this? What about that? Well, we're not talking about that right now. This is not the time to put the foot. Let's just not do that. We have to stick on this subject right here because not just one shooting, but two shootings happened within the span of 12 hours. Why? These things are going viral right now. Before, these shootings are happening so fast, you didn't even know Alton Sterling's history. We know that the police are and the media is very good with that. By the time that hit the news, another brother in Minnesota was killed for going with the command of the police. They told him to reach for his wallet, and when he shot him.
Your phone is you sound like you in a tunnel right quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna get to a couple of callers, man. I see the switchboard already lighting up. We typically wait till about 7:15, 7:20, but we need to be heard. And we don't have the biggest platform in the world, but we have a platform. And not only do we need to be heard, we need to start doing some shit because what we've been doing has failed fucking miserably. That being said, I'm gonna get to 9766 right quick, and then my bad, we got 2492 after that, and then we got a couple more callers after that. So we're gonna get to you as we can. What's good, fam?
What's good with y'all?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. You know what we're talking about tonight, right?
Yeah.
Who we speaking with, if you don't mind?
This is Markel.
What is up, fam?
Man, not much, man. Couldn't even sleep last night, man. All I kept thinking about was the sun breaking down, and then the 4-year-old daughter watching her daddy get shot down execution style. And then the inhumane thing after that, after they killed the 4-year-old's daddy, they threw the mom's cell phone and took her to jail till 5 o'clock in the morning and had her and her daughter in separate rooms.
It's like not only do they kill us, but they go out their way to add insult to injury. It's like when they left Mike Brown in the middle of the street for hours.
That was a public lynching. That was a public lynching. Just how they got to do it back in the day. That was a public lynching. And the thing about it is, I have a question. If I have your arm pinned down and another person has your arm pinned down, how are you able to move your arm until you? See, this goes along the storyline of the mythical story that they always talked about. This super big, strong black man that is immune to bullets. Pain doesn't hurt him, so that's why they treat us and do things way more inhumane how they apprehend us than they do others.
Thanks. That is absolutely true. And you know, it's interesting. I'm watching that video, man, and the Alton Sterling video, rest in peace. And you see, like, after they have shot him, the fact that they were that close and it was that easy to kill that man, you are not human to do that. Not only that, you know, when they removed the gun, it was, I take that back. Whatever they removed from his pocket was clearly deep inside his pocket.
Exactly. He had to reach all the way down deep and pull it out.
He put that, you know, the gun that he supposedly had. How did you know he had a gun? And if a homeless guy, this is the story, a homeless guy called him and reported him, okay, at what point did y'all say it was your gun?
Correct.
And then another thing, they're talking about he was a pedophile, this, that, and the third.
That has nothing to do.
Hold on. The same person that they said he was a pedophile with is his wife. He was 20 and she was 17, so he wasn't no pedophile. But that still had nothing to do with it. The man was selling CDs outside of a store with the store owner's permission. So what law did he break?
It's like my question right there. And like the law back to Tamir Woods, Ohio is an open carry state. What law had he broken? Even if he had been walking around with a gun, and you thought he was an adult, what law had he broken? You got out the car and immediately shot him. Over.
It's getting to
the same damn thing. I'm sorry, fellas, man. I'm.
Go ahead. No, y'all straight, man.
These cops. I'm starting to honestly think that when they go out there and they get these calls, they don't think about subduing their target. They're thinking about their paid vacation they're going to get for killing a black man. How are you on paid administrative leave after we've seen you kill this man in cold blood? You're getting impunity for murdering black people. You know it's not a system that we.
If I get suspended from work, they suspend me without pay. Now, if it's found that they were wrong in suspending me, then they give me my money. But if they feel they were right, I don't get a cent. Not only that, why are we not requiring these police when the city is successfully sued? Why are we not requiring that the city then sue that particular officer and recoup as much from that info as possible?
Man, I heard somebody make this suggestion, and I kind of agree with it. It was an older fella, and he said that with all the money that the state kicks out for the police in these cases of police brutality, like $20,000, $50,000, it should come out of the police pension. That police officer that did that was charged for that, and the person won his case, it should come out of that police officer's pension. I guarantee you see police brutality go down instantly. Off that alone.
It shouldn't come out of just that officer's pension. It should come out of their partner's pension. They should have to both eat that cost. Even if the partner did nothing, unless the partner went to their superiors and reported that behavior.
Facts.
Anything short of that, they should eat that cost. So you should be held accountable not only for you, but for you not lying for your boy or your girl for killing somebody who's unarmed unnecessarily.
And that's not a threat.
Exactly.
I mean, the question I want to know is, what they thought that this brother was Magnum P.I. somebody, he's Chuck Norris now. He's Jack Bauer. He can shoot bullets with his kneecaps because that's where they allegedly found the gun at. Because both of his arms was pinned down. I never seen nobody shoot a gun with their leg if he had a gun, allegedly.
Man.
Well, he's a big black man. Anything can happen.
What's up,
fellas? I gotta move it a little bit, man. My switchboard lighting up, man. I definitely appreciate the call. I truly, truly do, man. Hey, stay strong, bro.
Man.
You know, this is a family, so you know if you need anything, man, hit me up.
Already.
All
right, no doubt. And tonight, what we're talking about is my terrorists wear badges in blue. You know, I don't have the statistics in front of me. I read somewhere the other day that I have a 700% more likelihood chance of being killed by a police officer than a terrorist. With this country spending a lot of fucking time on ISIS and whatever other terrorist organizations that they feel they're scared of. I got pulled over the other day. You know how fucking scared I was? Like, I literally asked him several times if it was okay to get my wallet.
That's a fact.
Why should I have to feel that way?
I don't blame you. What's making it worse now is that they can give you a command and then shoot you for doing what they told you to do. Because that's what happened with Solandro, if I'm saying his name right. They asked him to do something. Yeah, they asked him to do something. He complied and he still shot him in front of his daughter, in front of his wife.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to let me get to another call too, right quick, AJ. We're gonna get to 2492 right quick, but before that, there was also another case of a brother who got pulled over, pulls up into a gas station. The police officer tells him to get his wallet. He was outside of his car. The police officer tells him to get his wallet and shoot him. And he didn't kill that dude. And the dude was like, "Dude, why'd you shoot me? You told me to get my wallet."
The brother in the SUV. I remember that.
Yeah. You know, it's to the point now where we basically are out of options and just completely at the mercy of a fearful individual. And on that note, man, we're going to get to 2492 right quick. What's good, fam?
Yo, peace, fam. What's good?
Peace. How you feeling, man?
Fucking angry, man. I'm fucking angry, yo. Like, it's not a whole lot more like to say outside of I'm fucking angry. I'm fucking angry, man. Yo, they slaughtered that. They slaughtered that brother for nothing, man. It's literally equivalent for you going to work, punching in the clock, police pull you over, and you dead. Literally, man. Like, I'm so fucking tired of this shit. Police, no police, whatever. I got family that's police.
You know anything about it? 2492, you here? All right, I'm just going to put you on hold, bro. You might have put us on hold, so I'm going to go to the next caller, and we're going to come back to you. Because I am curious to know what your family members think of it. So we're going to get to 9253 right quick, and then we're going to go back to 2492. What's good, fam?
Pretty good. Little pissed and tired of everything that's going on. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make it. I'm really alarmed about what's going on, but it's like a ski slope. It seems like 1 minute is Freddie Gray, and then they tone it down a little bit. We sit around and talk about how angry we are, and then it goes down, and then here we go again. In the hot summer, they're shooting somebody else, and this is within 24 hours. You know, and it's just ridiculous. And then our people, we sit around and say we angry, but we need to. What is we gonna do? We need to do something instead of saying we're angry. We need to do something, hit the pockets, anything. Everybody got a position. There's no such thing as big or small. It's time to make a difference, and it just really breaks my heart. He shot him in front of his woman and his kid. That bullet could have hit his baby, his woman. And she's still saying, sir, and being respectful. That's what's getting me. She's being respectful. And you tell us to have faith in the justice system. We're doing exactly what we do. He had a right to carry the gun. He told you he had the gun. She told you he had the gun. He telling you he getting his ID, you shoot him anyway. Not one time, 4 times.
I don't have all the solutions, but this is one thing I know for a fact. Black people right now, if I hear you singing jigaboo rhymes about killing other niggas and F all black women, bitches ain't shit, this, you are not black to me no more. You are inferior to me. At this point in time, unification is the only thing that I can really think of besides hitting them economically. I don't want to hear about your car, your rims, your dubs, all the money, how drunk you was at the club last week. Fuck that shit. If black people ain't going to come together right now, we ain't going to never come together. They looking at us like we some bitches right now. That's how they look.
Right.
Well, it ain't just right now, bro. This is the expected.
It's been that way.
It's been that way.
You know, the worst case scenario is we riot or however you want to term it. We burn up our own shit.
If black people decide to riot, if black people decide to riot, I'm supporting it. I don't care. This ain't ours. Them Korean stores ain't ours. That money does not funnel back to no black people. No black people from the college, from the stores. Fuck these people because they don't care and they will kill us just as well. We can turn and get off as well.
I mean,
and God forbid, you know I'm about to come. Because you know what, I'm black folks.
What it ends up doing is it speeds up the gentrification process because we've effectively burnt up all the commerce from their standpoint in that neighborhood. It depresses the property value, and next thing you know, we don't have a place to live at all.
That's true. But if they do decide to do it, I can't say I'm mad at it. Because that could have been anybody. That could have been any of us. And now the age difference doesn't mean anything. They're killing 12-year-olds. They're killing grandmothers. They're killing grandfathers. It doesn't matter. They don't have no picks right now.
They don't care if you're 7 or 70. They don't.
No, but my
then we got to have faith in the courts, and the courts ain't doing nothing. The court's letting everybody go who they kill. I mean, so what you want us to do? And when we holler support black dollars and support black-owned business, I'm going to shop where I want to shop. No, you're not. You adding to it. So then nothing's going to change. Nothing. Because you don't want it to change. You can't even so much as go buy toilet paper at a black-owned business to just do your part just a little bit. Everybody can't be a soldier in the field, but do something.
At least
make it count.
A lot of these black people are very comfortable in white daddy's lap right now until white daddy snap his fucking neck, and then his mother gonna be on TV crying, kids crying, and then he's looked at as criminals when these race soldiers are the criminals. Here's the real terrorists.
I'm waiting on these guys who say they thugs. I'm waiting on the guys that's thugs and want to gang bang and all that. Where y'all at? We need you to assemble and be a soldier. Since you want to be a soldier to kill each other, now you need to be a soldier and unify and get the enemy that's at hand. I'm not saying go out and kill a cop, but when do we get tired of talking about my heart is breaking, I'm mad, I'm gonna kick a wall? No, I need you to do something else. I need you to concentrate on doing something for your community, get involved some kind of way. It don't matter if you sitting there taking care of your neighbors on the block to make sure they get in their house safely. Do something. Everybody got an excuse.
I wholeheartedly agree. And to add to that, though, we have to do a better job of supporting those that are doing something as opposed to criticizing what they are not doing.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a part.
Yes. Everybody has a role, and the quicker we understand that, the better off we'll all be. The quicker we understand, like I wrote a post yesterday, what I don't hear in any of these videos is them asking them any of the following questions. Is your baby mama light-skinned? What church do you go to? What's the last book you read? Do you have a father in the home? They ain't asking them shit. They don't ask any questions before the bullets or after.
They don't. They don't care what religion you are or anything, or if you got a daddy or not. They don't care. They care about is you black. They don't care if you're light brown. They know you black.
Black people will literally take a beer bottle and break it on the ground and stab their cousins that owed them $25 from 4 Thanksgivings ago. The police will ride up on that same black person, and these niggas will be trembling in their fucking boots because of their uniform. I am getting tired of this. I am really getting tired of this. If black people, if you can't even have enough genuine love for your common man, and you still talking about Jordans when they killing black people with impunity, and what you did on the 4th of July, you're not black to me no more. You're not black.
Right.
Just automatically eliminated yourself out of the equation. I don't give a fuck right now about my religion. I don't care about that shit right now. I don't give a fuck what color your mother is. If you look black and they perceive you as black, they basically have the right to kill you right now. And please, please, black people, I don't want to hear, well, he just should have complied. It doesn't fucking matter if you comply or not.
Nope.
What did they do with Oscar Grant? What did they do with Oscar Grant at Fruitville Station? He was laying on his stomach with handcuffs on. Dead as a motherfucker right now. What was that brother doing in the Baton Rouge? Laying on his back. Dead as a motherfucker right now. I don't want to hear about this. Well, he should have just complied. What did they do to that brother in Minnesota? He was reaching for his wallet. For all his compliance, his wife was making excuses because he's scared of white daddy.
Now, how this? You know what? Since and Queen, I got to get back to 2492 right quick. I definitely appreciate the shares of the show and you calling me, man. And much respect, because I know you're on the front lines. Salute to you. I definitely appreciate you. If I ain't even coming to you first.
Thank you, brother. Love you. Love y'all. Peace.
Love you too.
You too. Love you too. Have a good one.
If I smoke weed, I have 2 blunts on my lips right now. If I smoke weed, I'll be smoking 2 of them blunts. I swear. I am. I'm up here, brother. My face is red, and I'm dark as a motherfucker. My face red.
Before we get 2492 on the line, if you do want to call in, it's 347-855-8692. And if you want to get on air, you got a question or a comment, you have to press 1. And to add to that, I see quite a few different new numbers that I'm not familiar with. So if you are a police officer and you listening, we want to hear from you. You know, if you're a black person, if you happen to be a police officer, we want to hear from you. Is this angering you? Are we angering you? Do you feel isolated? You know, you catching hell at work and you catching hell in the hood? Let me know. But it's not going to change until y'all take the reins. Y'all on the inside. We need y'all. We need y'all to be us instead of them.
Facts.
So
black first.
If you're taking this, right. If you're taking this a certain type of way, talk to me about it. Talk to AJ about it. Let's see what you got to say. We're going to get to 2492 right quick. All right, fam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's good? What's up?
Yeah, man. I mean, this shit's so fucked up, man. Like, you can literally die just for being you.
Facts.
Like, you understand that? Like, the fucking reality we live in right now, bro. Like, you can die just for being you. Like, it don't matter. It don't matter what you're labeled as. Hebrew, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, whatever. It don't matter, bro. You black. You can die. You a target. You a target. So I say all that to say this, man. Like I was saying, man. I have family that's police, and there's people that I actually talk to on a regular basis and have a relationship with. I pose the same question to my cousin, and it's kind of like this how it works with the police. All right, you got good cops. You have good cops who come from good backgrounds, know how to deal with people in the community, because that's vital too, as far as relationship with the police and black people. But you
got a little echo in your background too, Sam.
Somebody got TV on or something.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm outside. I'm on the deck.
Oh, you know what? That's AJ. AJ. Hold on. AJ, you got a TV or something going on. All right.
Yeah, I muted it.
But yeah, basically, it's a lot of behind-the-scenes racism that takes place in the police force. So it's a lot of corruption that goes on with these cops that we may know that are good cops and may try to say something, but they get outed by their own. You see what I'm saying? My cousin walked the beat for like 7 years, and after 7 years, he got the hell out of there because it was so dirty, and the things that he thought that he was signing up for, it was the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? And he works and he got a desk job now, only because he couldn't deal with what was taking place on the outside on the streets, all the corruption and you know, just all the dirty stuff that cops do. He's a good dude. He come from a good moral background, from a good family, and his spirit couldn't deal with it. He got a desk job now, man, and he got 2 years left before he retire. He can't wait to do it because it was something that he wasn't prepared for. It wasn't what he signed up for, and he paid his dues and dealt with it only because that was the only career he had.
But he's still a cop, right?
I mean? He's still a cop. Still a cop. He works in rape division.
Like how does he justify the fact that he still knows that? And I know you're getting it secondhand, but you know that would be my question to him: is how do you justify the fact that it's still going on? You just divorced yourself from the process without divorcing yourself from the machine. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're still there, bro, and you still
he's still
by not saying anything, you're supporting it.
he still reps the badge. I wouldn't say if it's the only means of you feeding your kids, I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying it to an extent I can understand if I was in that position. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand to an extent. If you 2 years left away from a retirement, are you going to drop everything? Are you going to drop everything that you put all these years into? You know what I'm saying? Or you going to ride the 2 years out and then get in the streets and make a difference? Because that's the plan.
I look at it like this, because there's been plenty of stories. As a matter of fact, it was a story down here. And a cop came out there and he talked about how corrupt the system was. And he basically had a price on his head from a police officer.
Yeah, facts.
You feel me? So it's a crazy job to sign up for, especially if you got morals and you got a heart.
Right.
Because once you get back there, you see how these things next week. I mean, you gotta think about. We just looking at the people that's being murdered on TV. We ain't even talking about all the crooked cops out there planting drugs on people. Beating people don't die. These things happen on a regular basis. So for somebody with morals,
we gotta get our own. We have to have our own. Remember the neighborhood watch? Remember Officer Friendly come to your school? You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta get back. We gotta get back to grassroots, man. Like honestly, I remember AJ. I know you know, bro. Officer Friendly used to come to school, right?
Yeah.
Officer Friendly would come to the school and establish a relationship with the kids in the community. You knew the cop by a first name basis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
you can't take white boys who have no type of social connection, interaction, dealing with people of color. Take them from West Bumblefuck, West Virginia, and place them in the urban city amongst people. They in the jungle. That's how they viewing you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you know what the first thing a cop say? I'm gonna make sure I go home.
Exactly.
Because he know if he dusts your ass, he ain't got shit to worry about when he go home. He gonna make sure that he go home though. You know what I'm saying? There's no value on a black life coming from a white man, and that's just the honest fact, man.
Honest truth.
It's the honest truth. If you're not out there singing, rapping about getting high. And bitches and how drunk you get and how big your rims is, man, and do this all this lost nigga shit. Like if you not rapping about that, promoting they shit, making them rich, bro, they ain't got no use for you. Don't kick no knowledge. Don't kick no knowledge, nigga. You know, don't kick no knowledge, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna randomly get killed from bird shit that fell 30,000 miles or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna get Pimp C real quick. You feel me?
Hey, Ron?
Yo.
I'm gonna keep you on, but I want to pick up another caller right quick, man.
Go ahead, bro.
And fellas, we gotta make sure everybody gets their point off before we interrupt her. We're gonna get to 9650 right quick. What's good, fam?
Hey, what's up? It's Renell. I'm just chiming in, listening to the conversation.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Hello? Is that my phone or is yours, Ronell? I think it's yours. All right. Well, I'm gonna put you on hold. Oh, my bad. Let me get back to you. Yeah, I heard you at the end. You good right now?
I've been listening to the conversation for the last couple of minutes, and my only issue is I have a problem painting groups of people with a broad brush. Just like I don't want people to judge me because I'm black, I don't want to judge all white cops as being from, like the brother said a few minutes ago, bumfuck West Virginia. So pause on painting everybody with a broad brush. I've seen crooked black cops like I've seen crooked white cops in my career. So I think we need to be careful about who we're judging and what we're judging. But at the same time, I don't think the change comes from officers that are on the beat or currently on the department. I think the change comes from the community, us in the community, challenging the police department's practices, challenging the police department's procedures, and stop taking it at face value on what they're telling us. In today's day and age, we have a right to go down to any police department, to go down to any DA's office and request the records of any police officer, request their discipline report, request their procedures. And that's what
Can I ask you a question right quick? Like on that one, and I do apologize. I know I said we wasn't gonna cut anybody off, but on that one right there, have you ever tried that?
Yeah, I do it all the time. I do it all the time for friends. I do it all the time for other police officers who are afraid to learn information that they suspect. See, even as officers, we live in the rumor mill. And there are rumors going around, oh, so-and-so got promoted, and you know he's been arrested for domestic violence, and you know he's been written up 16 times, and nothing never happened to him. And so I'd like, really? Well, let me go open records and see what comes down. Go pull open records, and you ain't got shit on them. So, yeah,
okay.
I do, and I have, and I show people how to pull open records. But for some reason, we think that once we pull open records, that we'd be able to become a target of the police department. That may be the case. I haven't experienced that, and if that is the case, then that adds fuel to the fire. But I have a problem with just complaining about it and saying it's the current police officer's job to try and turn around the aircraft carrier. It's going to take Citizens Action Committee and people from the public to show and play by their rules to say, oh, this guy, he knows what he's talking about, and go pull those reports, go pull those records, go fight the system with the pen like they try and fight us with the pen.
Can I ask you that? They are beyond fighting.
I got a question.
They are shooting. They are shooting us. There's a huge difference between me going. And first off, if I was to go down to a police station, you're a police officer, correct?
Yeah, I'm a reserve police officer now. I was full-time for about 13 years, and now I'm part-time.
Okay. Now, let's say I'm a nurse and I work in a hospital. My experience in that hospital is going to be completely different than your experience as a lay person. I work in a hospital, for one. I'm familiar with who's the best in that hospital with respect to which surgeons are more skilled than others, which nurses are more skilled than others. I have developed a rapport with those people so that when I come there, they feel more inclined to do me a great service because it could be them on the other end, and I'm going to have to see them the next day. You're getting that same love when you walk in the door. I've also seen in the hospitals a person that is of lesser value to society get treated as such. They don't have that inside connection, that intel, or that relationship. So even though it works for you, it should work for you because that is your place of business, and from a cop's point of view, you family. It's not like you asking them something, outlandish. You're not asking them for $25,000. You're just asking them for 25 seconds of their life, make some copies, look this up for me. When I go in there, if I'm already viewed as a target in society, when I go in there, I am viewed with condemnation immediately. The repercussions for me would be way more far-reaching than they would be for you because you wouldn't have any. If I can't trust you to pull me over and give me a ticket, how can I trust going into your household and asking you for sugar?
Right. So I take issue with your premise. I don't think that the rule is white cops or cops pull over black people with the intention of shooting them. I think that is the exception. And to your point, I think that the cops that are targeting and the cops that are abusing the system, that is not the first time they have abused the system. That's just what it's escalated to. And so if you look at the history and look at that cop that just shot somebody wrongly, unjustifiably, I would bet my house and car and everything else that is not the first time he's been accused of some type of...
He shot a black man in 2014. They pulled up the record.
I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
They shot the same cop that killed Alton Sterling, shot another black man in 2014. They brought up his record.
Okay, I didn't know that, but that makes my point. So what I'm saying is we should not wait until a cop shoots somebody to call him a bad cop. That cop was a bad cop before that shooting. So
right. And how many other cops were aware of that shooting, though? That's my problem, is that you waiting on us to finally catch up to that information. By the time we figure out, the public at large, that a cop has beat the shit out of 12 people, raped the lady in the back of his car, and then he happened to murder somebody. We so far behind the 8 ball, we don't have a chance at the shot. But you have people on site who
who say, because I'm absolutely sure there are cops that say, you know what, if my son ever get pulled over, I don't want Officer so and so being there. And we're not getting that benefit.
I'm not just there is no doubt in my mind there are cops today that I would not want them coming to my call, not because I feel like they're going to shoot somebody, but because I feel like they are not professional. There is nothing I can do at this point that I can document or say to any supervisor that that person is not professional, other than, I don't like his tone. And there is a certain respect and disrespect that comes from some officers, either intentionally or unintentionally. My overall point is, when we observe bad cop behavior, we report it then. When we see a cop blowing through a red light with no lights and siren, get the car number and call it in. When we see a cop not acting professionally, we, as anybody, should report that. If we're not willing to leave our name and number, try and leave it anonymously. But now I'll flip the script and I'll say we need to educate ourselves and our communities and our young black men on how to interact with police officers. I think that
I got a question. I got a question. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, brother. Like, what's your name again?
No, go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
What is it?
Unless AJ was going to say something.
I'll go at him. Ron.
I got two. I got one question and sub questions.
You there, Ron?
Renell, I'm here.
Ron. All right.
I'm here.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Hello? He probably pop back up. All right. This is what I want to say. The reason why a lot of black people nowadays, or the citizens in general, are afraid to question authority in that type of manner that you brought up, which isn't a bad idea. I'm not bragging on it or nothing like that. But it was a case, Flint, Michigan, not too long ago. A black woman and a white man was killed when they was calling out with the water and all that other stuff with the bad pipes and all that. And they was questioning, I think, people of the government or something like that, when they was calling them out because they already said that they been knew about it. Once they called them out, both of them mysteriously end up killed in the same night. These are the things that the citizens do fear when they do try to call out the injustice that police do before they even step out their lane and kill somebody. Or next thing you know now.
But just before 10 minutes ago, I think we were chastising the officer that was 2 years from retirement and blaming him for not stepping up. So we can't have it both ways. You can't say the cops that are on the beat that are trying to save their career, protect their retirement, their families, we can't blame them for not being stepping up and then come back and us as citizens not do the same thing. It's a two-way street. It's not going to happen just from cops internal to the department. That won't solve the problem.
Okay, I think that you're kind of looking at it like all of us speak for each other in the same way, because I never said that. But the thing about it is, citizens do have a fear that something will happen to them. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, but this is a fear that that is very real. And there's instances that happen to them that now all of a sudden, when they take a cop's name and number and they take it to the DA's office or Eternal Affairs, next thing you know, they're getting pulled over every single day.
Right.
Next thing you know,
so one of the things
you gotta realize.
One of the things that I've done to try and curtail that. One of the things I've done to try and curtail that is make it a committee. If there is a fear, a justified fear of the black community and white community afraid of retribution from cops, especially if you go pull the disciplinary history, then yeah, that may be, I can certainly see that. But take it out of the hands of one person and make it a committee. Make it a neighborhood action committee, a neighborhood community patrol, whatever you want of your open records request. And it's coming from a group. It's not coming from one single person. And let me see you try and target a group. As that group becomes successful and gets larger and larger and larger, the community gets stronger and stronger and stronger. There's more education on what you can and can't do and should and shouldn't do as far as your rights when interacting with a police officer. That's how we empower ourselves, not by complaining and marching and doing some of the things that we see last for a couple of days after a shooting, and then after that, it goes away. That is not going to solve the problem, the systematic problem that we have today in law enforcement. It just won't.
I was reading a couple of stats over, like, I want to say 2014 and 2015, and there was well over like 1,000 cop shootings or whatnot, and there was no one convicted. Not 0.01, not 0.02, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw, there was no one convicted. The problem with that, your theory is that at the end of the day, the cops have superiors who make the decisions, good or bad, whether to retain that person. They also have a hand-in-hand relationship with the DA, and so the DAs don't charge them. When you say we should, unite or whatnot, if you look at the history of this country, anytime that we have done that, we have been assaulted and murdered. It may not have been the whole movement. It was the most strategic person in that movement. And you can take that back as far as you like. So to say that is I understand where you're coming from. I do. However, the practicality of that is just not been successful. I mean, we have police officers on videotape. I'm not exactly sure what else, what other information besides the act itself is needed to convict someone. Why? Just like I'll take what you said. You don't want to paint people with a broad brush. Well, what I don't want to do is I don't want the police officers putting out the criminal history of a person they just murdered. That's unnecessary and irrelevant because they damn sure don't want their file in the public eye. They don't even want the damn name in the public eye.
Right. So I guess then, I guess I would ask, what is the action? If that's not a practical action, what is a practical action?
I wouldn't say that's not practical, but going by experience in all the other examples that was brought up, it's a reason why people don't want to take that approach anymore or not want to or are afraid. So even if we do get in large numbers, one of those people that's in that large number, they can look at him and criminalize him because of something that he probably did 10 years ago when he was 19. And
that's fine. I understand that, but I'm saying, what's the action? For what? So inaction?
I think
we just keep talking about it every. We just keep talking about it every time somebody gets shot.
I think the cops got to take action as well.
I have some solutions, just me personally, that I've thought about, and me personally, it would start socially with the sisters and brothers in uniform. If you have a cousin or uncle or brother or whomever that is a cop, outside of family matters that have to be dealt with, don't bother with them because you're not looking out for family beyond family. We need to take our community back. You could go ahead and reap those benefits. I'm not mad at you. I'm not hating on you. However, I demand a certain level of respect from you, not just for myself, but for my community. And if I don't feel like you're giving me that, you should not be a part of my community socially. Secondly, I don't know if you were listening earlier. What I said was, when there is a cop when a police department is sued successfully for a bad act on the part of one of its employees, those employees should be sued by that department and made to pay restitution for their fuck up. And then what you will see is the police personally, if you shoot somebody and they sue you and they say you were wrong, I'm giving this family $10 million. The city should be required to personally sue, not just that officer, but his partner. They tied at the hip when it benefits them. They should be tied at the hip when shit hits the fan.
I'm not sure what you know about that, the whole partner thing, but I mean, we don't have partners, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you would sue someone for something that they had no knowledge of or weren't even a part of. But your first point, I don't understand what the action gets
sued. And when a surgeon gets sued in the operating room, the surgeon isn't the only one named in that lawsuit. The hospital is named in that lawsuit. The nurses are named in that lawsuit. The OR tech is named in that lawsuit. It should be the same by the police officer.
Yeah, then that is how it happens. So that police officer gets sued, his immediate supervisor gets sued, the city gets sued. So yeah, but you said like partners and other employees should get sued. I don't understand.
Okay, well let me qualify that. In the event that the police officer has a partner, or let's say I forget which city it was because unfortunately there have been so many, but there was, I think it was Chicago, where the kid was basically by himself in the middle of the street, a bunch of cops out there, no one shooting or anything. One cop pulls up and shoots the guy. Okay, at that point, if his other officers do not step up to the plate and say, bro, you was wrong, that was a bad shoot, you arrested, then they are all complicit in that. And I don't mean, even though their name, the difference with the police officers, I've never heard of a police officer personally going bankrupt as a result of being sued for shooting someone while on the job. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that the lawsuit, even though it may name that officer is not personally liable for any of the financial damages. What I'm saying is they should be.
Now, to help your case out with that also, just a few months ago, the brother Akai Gurley was killed in New York City. Now, what happened with this situation was when Peter Liang shot and killed him, they did not call for the ambulance. They did not call for backup. And him and his partner basically tried to cover it up because they called their lieutenant first. And from to my understanding, that is not proper procedure. So in that situation, the person that he's working with, if that's not his partner, they both should have been on trial because they both were liable for that man dying.
So I think we've already confirmed that there is a problem, and I think we all agree. But talking about every shooting and every circumstance, I was having a conversation today with another coworker of mine. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. I don't want to hear about all the bad cops. I want to hear about what we can do to correct the issue. And I know you were kind of enumerating two solutions, but I didn't get either of them. I don't know if the phone cut out or what the deal was, but what are the actions, either as a citizen or as a police officer on duty, currently working for a department? What is the solution, something that, as a matter of a movement, to do to try and solve the problem? The problem is not just white cops shooting black cops. That's a symptom of the problem. What should we do to try and solve the problem instead of just talking about the wrongdoings that happens to us every day?
Okay. In my opinion, first of all, the police need better training or need to be retrained again. That's one problem. See, a lot of these problems that happen within two innocent black people that wasn't doing anything that are unjustly murdered, these things are basically all squared on the cops. I really don't understand what more can one person do that is killed by the police that is complying with everything that the police said. What was he supposed to do? Like, just take the bullet out of him and not die? So I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I kind of think that you're putting all of the pressure on the citizens when the citizens aren't the ones out here that signed up to work for the police department.
Okay, so what should cops do?
And you know what? Actually, cops should be able to answer that question.
So, here's what I want to make it a cop issue, because when you look at police departments, law enforcement in America, and you look at cops, and we talk about this is primarily a targeted African American black issue. We are less than 10% of the law enforcement community across the nation. So now you're asking, of that 10%, even if 100% were on board to do anything we're saying is a solution, which still haven't heard that yet, to make a movement towards 90% of a system, that to me is not practical. To think that a small drop of people has any type of chance to change a system the size of the law enforcement community, local, federal, and state government, when 90% are white, that the numbers don't ring true. That's a solution or a method we should be trying to do. So yeah, it involves the community, and it has to start and grow with the community, because now you're asking that 10% to put not only their career on the line, but now their financial well-being, their financial means of funding their family on the line. There's just so many things wrong with that scenario of the onus is on the cops of the department. I don't think that's a practical way of doing it.
Let me start with your 10% number, because that's really kind of skewed, because that number, I'm sure, must include Utah, must include Montana, must include most of Connecticut. And my point being is there aren't too many brothers and sisters in those states, let alone those police departments. So the numbers are skewed. Now, if you were to focus specifically on the major cities where most people of color are living, I guarantee that the numbers will be different.
Right,
additionally, it's kind of hard to say the people that are getting shot should solve that problem themselves when we aren't shooting anybody. We aren't shooting the police. We're getting shot. And you're saying, even though you're getting murdered unjustly, you should fix that. How do you fix being shot?
Okay, I don't know what we're talking about then, because we keep going back to the problem versus the solution. And when you look at the demographics of law enforcement officers, where the majority are black departments, you are correct. You do not see that type of problem in those departments. And when's the last time you saw Atlanta PD pop in the black time you saw a predominantly black police department shooting a black person? You don't see that. The problem is systematically with predominantly white departments. So if you have a department, by your theory, that doesn't even have black officers, now what are we going to do?
What I'm saying is let's look at Ferguson, for example. Now, those police officers, at least from what I've read and kind of investigated about the scenario, those police officers seem to get around a lot. It's kind of easy to be interchangeable. And they basically do the same thing in the same area. You're not going to tell me, and I know for a fact the city that I live in, they have clubs for the police officers that just doesn't involve, the police officer in X, Y, or Z town. It's like they have a black police officers union. If you're a black police officer in any of the areas around here, you go and you hang with other brothers that do the same thing that you do. When you're doing that, how about sticking up for the people that aren't there, the people that are depending on you to do something from the inside? Now, if there's no brothers in Utah, no, there's nothing we can do about that. However, you can't tell me, and let me backtrack a little bit, because at this point, when a brother or sister joins the police force, it appears that they put the police force before their community. And that seems to be the problem, at least from my eyes. That's what really bothers me, is that you don't hear too often, and that's why I'm not, I applaud you for calling up. I disagree with most of what you're saying, but the dialogue needs to be had.
Right, yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna ask, then, me being a black officer, again, at a predominantly white department, what do I do if the onus is on us to make a difference and stop letting white cops shoot black people? What would you suggest I do?
You have to start outing these cops, man. You have to start outing them.
What do you mean out them? What do you mean out them?
Because we already know
they've already shot them if they shoot somebody. So what are you talking about out them?
Okay, wait. Okay, now check this out. All right, and we already know that the person that killed the brother Otis Sterling yesterday already had a history. Why is he still on the force? Right. Why is he still there? Most of these people have domestic violence history. Most of these people.
Again, we're going back and talking about stuff that's already happened. Nobody in my department has shot.
I'm not saying you.
Yes.
I'm not saying you because
nobody yet has shot somebody at my department. So what do you suggest for my department? Wait. Oh, so what do you do for your department? Well, it depends. If y'all not killing nobody, then y'all doing a good job for your department.
If y'all not killing nobody unjustly.
No, brother, that's not how it works, brother. Because when you look at when you look at Baton Rouge Police Department, by that logic, they shouldn't have done anything before.
But he already shot somebody. But he already shot somebody though.
Right.
So why didn't he do nothing then?
No,
I mean the cop that killed Tamir Rice, he already jumped from one department to another department because of his violent criminal history.
Okay, what should be done before the cops shoot somebody? As a police officer, these police officers need to be retrained and they need to have psychological evaluations. So you think a lot of them are just you think white cops are shooting black kids predominantly in the cases we've seen because of a lack of training?
Me personally, I don't think.
Do you really think that?
In some situations, not every situation, but in some situations, I know that wasn't police procedure what happened with Tamir Rice. I know it wasn't.
Hey, AJ, let me interject right quick. Me personally, I don't think it's a training issue. You're not going to train away a racist, a bigot. You're not going to train away biasness. You know, however, what AJ said about the psychological evals was key. You know, I definitely think we need to be having psych evals on these police officers, and not just a psych eval, but a yearly psych eval, because you cannot tell me that, let's say you are in a really high crime area, that does not have an effect on your psyche to some extent. If you especially coming into the deal with a bias already, and there's numerous studies that can't be refuted, I didn't do them, but the bias is there. You know, that's not something that, you know, that's not a shock to anybody that you have police officers with an extreme bias towards black people.
Okay, that's still
find out they should not be allowed to participate in carrying a firearm and the ability to kill somebody legally.
Okay, so we can do psych evals. That still doesn't help me on what I can do. Which I mean, I don't think a psych eval is gonna do anything either. I mean, I really don't. I think there is no difference.
I mean, okay, I'm taking the national. I think you're taking a national epidemic and you're making it your own personal problem. This is where we keep bumping heads at right here. Because you're saying, well, what can I do? So I asked, well, are any of the cops that you work with, are they just running around killing black people without impunity? No. Then at this current point in time, you're doing a good job. This is for you personally.
No, that's where you're I think you're flat out wrong with that.
Explain.
The cops that have shot black people more times than not are not brought back on the police department. Sure, there are exceptions where that may happen, but you're saying that wait until somebody shoots a black person.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that because you're not letting me finish. A lot of these police have a history that probably that goes unmarked. Most of them probably rough up people, you know, use illegal moves to arrest them, to subdue them. These things need to be stopped. That needs to be nipped in the butt right there before it goes to the next level, which would be killing innocent people.
Hey, and on that note, before you respond to that, I want to get another caller on if you're cool with that. And I do think that he actually AJ was actually trying. And I understand that, but you have to participate in the solutions from your end. You know, you have to participate in creating the solutions.
No. We didn't say we didn't like your solutions. No, we didn't say that at all.
If
you allow me to say
you said the onus shouldn't be on the community. The onus should be on the police officers that are working for the department that are shooting black people.
No, you said you putting all the ownership on the community. All of it. We give you multiple different situations at every time. Go ahead.
What I said is that you're asking a community that's being brutalized, victimized, and murdered to solve that by themselves, because that's what you said. When you initially made your statement, it was the community should do this, the community should do that. The police need to take ownership that they got a problem, first and foremost. Until that very statement is made in a more grander scale, we're going to always have problems. You know, I understand what you're saying about the community aspect. Are there things that we actively should be doing better now? They are. However, one of those things that's not being done by the community is shooting the police for no reason. That rarely, ever happens. Not saying it doesn't, but we are being disproportionately killed by the police, and unarmed at that, even when we do comply. So what I'm saying is the police have to be an active participant in developing the solutions as well. And on that note, I'm going to get to 4727 right quick. What's good, fam?
I'm not much. Sitting there listening to you guys, man. How you doing?
Doing great, brother. Doing great. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm well. You know how it goes, man. You take the hits as they come, but you keep going.
Yeah.
Bro.
So I do have a question since.
Well, I did just come on, but I mean, I feel like.
Is there anything you want to contribute, brother?
Indeed. Well, I wanted to wait. I didn't want to just jump in and try to take over the show. I'm not a rude person, as you guys know. First thing first, for an administration or any group that's committing atrocities, for them to ask the people who they're abusing to fix the situation, kind of lets you know how ridiculous this conversation can get when you talk about these emotional things. No matter what, the police force, this is not a new problem. This is a long-standing American problem. And the only way to really get to the root of it is you have to get rid of police union power, meaning they're going to have to negotiate from position that they present themselves as now. They have to negotiate from their reputation, not based on kind of the fear that they use, the fear-mongering of, well, we'll stand down if we don't get X, Y, and Z. So those union contracts are huge because they allow them to mostly get away with damn near anything. The second part of this would be, yes, there are going to be some people who have to cross that thin blue line and say, this is incorrect. I've had people do this in front of me. I've had people do that in front of me. Like, that has to come out. There has to be an awakening within the department. The other part, there has to be a higher bar. There are some departments that require a high school or GED as far as your educational background to become a police officer. That has to go. The idea that somebody who's down and out or hasn't really progressed very far in life and has taken this as their last shot in order to get respect and make a decent wage, that can't be. This is a very important job, comes with a lot of power and responsibility, and it just can't be given to anybody. So there's a whole lot that has to happen. The problem is, like I just told you guys, they use these police unions as kind of holding the city over a barrel and saying, okay, what are you going to do without a police force? And at that point, you see the procedure. So you get a shooting, they'll give a guy, time to talk to be coached up by a lawyer. They'll get other policemen in there with them. They'll craft a story. They'll give you a police report that's nowhere near close to what the scene was, typically on video. And before you know it, that person is walking. So there's a whole lot that needs to happen. But to put the onus on the community is disingenuous.
Sorry. So, I guess my question would be, how do we call out bad cops if the community is not able to report bad cops?
Well, community reporting of bad cops has gone on a long time. What's done with those reports is another question. The backlog on people making complaints about officers, civil rights violations, and all these other things, the backlog is very long. Is it acted upon? No. So that's a whole nother conversation about getting actual accountability from some of these officers. But look, man, no matter what, we got to look at this from this standpoint. The black community is over-policed and usually basically under occupation, and that's why black people and white people use drugs at the same rates, but black people go to jail at 6 times the rate of white people. Like when you have that on your record and still have the audacity to strut in front of a camera and talk about how this was a clean shooting or we handle things with integrity, it's laughable, man. The police departments in America, a huge chunk of them, should be brought before the UN, because we're talking about genocide and human rights violations, essentially. If this was Russia, we'd be talking about Putin like a dog. but it's here, so we make excuses.
Hey, Sam, I appreciate you calling up too, bro. I gotta get.
You ain't gotta drop me off, because I don't want him to start talking when I leave.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm good. I'm trying to not be rude or disrespectful, because you just got on the conversation. So I mean I think talking about a separate issue. I mean, we kind of transitioned from bad cops to American culture and people wondering why us as a black community are overpopulating our jails and underemployed and not going to college, and our kids are growing up without dads and all that. That's an entirely separate discussion. And
I didn't bring up any of that. For the record, I didn't say any of that. But proceed.
Okay. But what you started talking about is the black community being under siege, and occupied, and being taken to jail 6 times more than I forgot who you compared it against. The reason why I was talking about black and white drug usage. Black people and white people use drugs at the same rate, but the arrest rates for drug possession are 6 times that rate. Like, that's not something you can explain away. You see what I mean? Right. It's 6 times more because the law enforcement is in the black community more than in the white community. And they're in the
Which is why I said occupation. Which is why I said the occupation comment.
Right, but
the problem with that is that when they both are, let's say they both are arrested for the same crime, when they get in front of the judge, the sentences handed down are totally disproportionate.
Yeah,
so
whole nother story.
That boils down to the culture and social aspects of America. If you have money and you're arrested for the same charge, you're not going to get the same penalty. So, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's how it is. But
wait a minute. You're not saying. Hold on. You're not saying if that is right or wrong. You can't.
No, that's how it is.
You can't draw a line there.
That's how it is. That's
an interesting set of morals you got there. Interesting set of morals you got there.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong because it's not up to me. It's not up to me that's right or wrong.
I would like to know what you would call right or wrong. In what situation would something be right or wrong?
Right or wrong would be a person not being able to go pay for a high-priced attorney. So you can't go pay for an attorney that knows his shit. You're stuck with the same attorney that I'm stuck with if I go to jail. If I get arrested. If I get arrested and I'm stuck with the public defender, then you should be stuck with the public defender.
Okay,
I agree with that. But the only reason that's a dodge is this: poor white people don't get the same long sentences that poor black people do. So even within the class structure that you're talking about, we're still talking about a difference. So you see that dog won't hunt either.
Okay, I was looking at a stat. I was looking at a stat earlier today. 1 out of every 13 black men will be arrested. 1 out of every 36 Hispanic men will be arrested, and 1 out of every 108 white man will be arrested. This is a problem here.
Right.
This is a huge problem.
So back to what my original point I was trying to make is the occupation of law enforcement inside of black communities are because of those issues that I was enumerating earlier that have affected us as a community because of where we came from in the civil rights area, and we're still trying to catch up. Equalize all of those other issues. When we equalize the social issues, when we equalize the economic issues, when we equalize the playing field, and we make things really equal across racial barriers, then I think you'll start seeing the change as far as 6 times more.
My man. That's far away. That's the far away that never happens. That's that hope for the future and living with what you got. If you are a United States citizen, taxpaying citizen, meaning especially a group who mostly is non-immigrant, at least 7 generations deep, the onus is on the country to treat us as citizens, not on us to hold our leg up the correct way, hold a hand the right way, say the right words, soothe the officer's nerves as he walks to the car. No, we deserve the same rights and privileges as every other citizen based on everything we've contributed to this country. So the idea that we should wait and they should give us a barometer and say, well, once you reach this level of economic status, this level of political status, then you can be treated as a normal citizen by the police force. No, that's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable.
That is not.
Hey, fam, I gotta get to the next caller though. I hate to break y'all up, but I gotta get to the next caller, man. Definitely appreciate.
I want to make this. Can I make this one point before you get to the next call, real quick?
Well, I'm okay. Go ahead.
So this is what I want to say. The point I'm trying to make with making things more equal. You don't wait until that happens. Demand that when in order of arresting us, educate us. Give us education. Give us, like, affirmative action. Affirmative action was one of the greatest things America could have done. Let's extend affirmative action further and make it affirmative education. Let's extend the probation further and say, you go get your degree, we'll wipe out all of these bullshit charges that you've been enumerating on your arrest record. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, man, if you want to take it there, let's not play with it and just put reparations on the table.
Right. Hey, caller, I got to cut you off, bro.
Don't play with it.
I got to cut you off, man. My bad, but I got a lot of callers, man. I got to get to.
Indeed. Do you think?
No doubt, man. Definitely appreciate you calling.
Brother, man.
Salute. I was about to ask, AJ, you still there?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
It's around that time.
If you want to call in, it's 347-855-8692. You got to press 1 to get on air. And my apologies. I'm quite sure y'all can understand. I'm getting to people as quick as possible, but we also got some questions we want to ask too. So we're gonna get to 5302 that quick. What's good, ma'am?
Hi.
Hello?
Good evening, my name is Deborah. I'm fine. How are you?
Hey, Deborah.
I'm doing well.
Deborah. Hi.
Hi.
So what's going on?
Well, I've been listening intently, and I wanted to put my 2 cents in, basically because I'm very disturbed about everything that's happening in the black community, just like everybody else is. I mean, certainly black people. But the thing that, and I understand people being outraged, and I understand people being emotional, but one of the things that I wish that blacks would understand is that no matter how much we would like for things to be equal, they're not. No matter how much we'd like to be treated like the host race, we're not. They're not going to approach your son and handle your son the same way they would handle a white child. So your son has to know how to survive an encounter with a racist cop, even though they are entitled to the same treatment, because it's not going to happen. Young people today, they don't want to be disrespected. They feel like, oh, I have rights, and you can't do that. You can't do that to me. And you can't. Well, yeah, they shouldn't be able to do it to you, but they can. And I just wish that black people would stop going up against these incredible odds because they believe it should be different. Yeah, it should be different, but it's not. And that's the reality.
Okay. Hey, Deborah, if you don't mind me saying this, all these situations, it's like we're bottling them all up into just one big thing. When you look at everything as a situation basis, there are times when black people have complied with the police and were still killed. In those situations like that, and these are the problems that we're talking about. And we have the brother that is a cop that's on the line right now, and I feel as though he's putting, my personal opinion, he's putting all the power in our hands. But we aren't the ones that's killing people.
they are. So technically, they have just as much, if more power, because they can kill us with impunity and keep it moving. So that's this is where the disconnect comes from right here. Because I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I just want to get pulled over at the stoplight and get shot in my fucking head. I just want to wake up and get shot. No one thinks like that.
Okay, but then by the same respect, I don't necessarily think that police officers go to a situation thinking, I'm going to kill somebody today. I do believe that when police officers confront black people, especially big black men, and I say this because I worked in a very racist agency, and God helped me to survive it and get out of it with a pension. And I had a tall black man as a partner, and that man endured so many things when he was out in the street because white police officers found him menacing. You know, he appeared to be some kind of threat to him, not because he did anything, because he wasn't a menacing man, but he was big and he was black. And that is definitely a concern. And I think that people have to understand that, I mean, like, everybody has to figure out how to survive an encounter with the police officers, because I worked as a parole officer, and deadly physical force included how to survive an encounter with a uniformed police officer. And okay. So I mean, like, and so if we teach our young people that this is not something that, you know, you're going to change just because you're mad about it or because you don't appreciate it, I think that's where we have to start with how to help our young people, anybody we love, any black person that we care about, how to survive an encounter with with white police officers.
Now, that's
the
problem with that.
I'm sorry.
I hear you. And in theory, it sounds nice.
You can barely understand.
I'm losing something.
Any time that we try to fall under the guidelines for what? Oh, my bad. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm straight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In theory, I'm with you 100%, because we do know how we do have to equip ourselves to deal with these race soldiers. But it doesn't matter how we confide under whatever guidelines they put out there. They just find another reason to do something to us. You know, they kill. They don't just kill big black men anymore. They kill little black children.
True.
They kill old black women.
Old women, young women. That is true. But I think it's because there's a different breed of person that's becoming police officers. I think racism is systematic, and I think certainly the police department is the cornerstone of racism in this country. Always has been and always will be. That's not going to change. It's not going to change today or tomorrow. It's not going to change 100 years from now. Law enforcement, police departments are going to be exactly what police departments are 100 years from now. And I think
just real quick, I understand your sentiment. I understand where you're coming from. You're worried about people getting hurt. You're worried about how things could go if people react in a way that could be considered violent. But I have to ask you, did we change Jim Crow? Yes. Did we change after Reconstruction? Yes. Did we change after the Civil Rights Movement? Yes. And all of these things involve some type of confrontation, some type of code of conduct, and also just an understanding that this can't stand. So I understand what you're saying, and it's a safe way to go about it. But if we continue to comport ourselves in that fashion, we'll be telling our great-great-grandchildren to do the same thing. And I think progress is based on sometimes there's going to have to be resistance, there's going to have to be bad times and good times. Right now we're in an economic downturn. There's a lot of people who are upset about their own standing in life, and some of these people take that to their job as a policeman, and that leads to not a bad thing. But the answer to this can't be always comply and always deal with it, because as a matter of fact, they still have apartheid right now in South Africa. If they decided, well, in order to stay alive, let me just not anger this crazy person.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Let's see. I'm not going to add something to that too, if y'all don't mind. When you say they're scared of the big black man, you know, what the first thing that came to mind was the motorcycle gang shootout in Texas, where you had some WWF dude on Harleys murder 8 or 9 people, and the police officers allowed them to use their cell phones. They had most of them.
But they were white men. They weren't black.
But whose face? Wait. Hold on. Who? What one biker? Let me say this one thing. What one biker face did they show when they did start showing the face? They showed the one black biker's face.
I remember that.
Like it's clear what the hell is going on. You know, we could talk. Oh, we need to do this, all this, and all. At the end of the day, this nation, you know, throughout history has showed how they care about us, what they will do to us. So we are gonna change anything. We have the nation build. We have to build our own freaking nation. That's it. If we gotta do it right here, we do it within here. But if people don't educate themselves, educate the children. You know, we can't even beat up on the children because at the end of the day, that's the warriors. That's the next generation. If we beat up on them, they're going to come, you know, what the hell are we going to give them? What wisdom are we handing them for them to be the vanguard to the next generation?
See, and this is something that I do agree with.
Let me ask you this, brother. Let me ask you this. How is your son or nephew getting killed by a racist cop going to mobilize the black race? I'm talking about how to survive individually. I'm not talking about unifying as a race of people. But I'm talking about teaching your...
Okay, well, you want us to be individuals. I don't
want you to be individuals, but you can't be a group all the time. I'm saying that when you are not part of a group, you're out there by yourself. You want to teach your child how to make it back home at the end of the day. That's what they train officers. You want to make it home at the end of the day. At the end of your tour, you want to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
That's one stage of your life.
But see, and now as the days go by,
for generations, we've been giving that speech to our kids, and they have altered their acknowledgement of that speech, so to speak. You know, my parents sat down with me. This is how you act when you get pulled over. Blase split. Same thing. Mm-hmm. My kids, their kids. Blase split. The problem is that you know we just like you saw the young man that got shot in the car. He did exactly what the speech was. He followed the speech by to the letter.
Anyway.
See, we have to understand. We have to understand that white supremacy and racism as a whole is not just violence. It's a psychological warfare as well.
Absolutely.
Because now when we seeing our brothers get killed, the first thing we're thinking like, well, maybe if he did listen to Charlie and did exactly what Charlie said, more than likely they was racist anyway. So the police could have told him to do the hokey pokey. And he did the hokey pokey, and the police still shot him. We're so psychologically fucked up that we still find a way to make it the black person's fault that he was killed.
You know what?
These cops have to take. They have to take some type of blame for these situations. And I'm not saying all of them, but the ones that do it because they already know they have a system behind them. Like you said, that's a cornerstone of white supremacy. That's protecting them. That's why they're not afraid to kill us no matter what we're doing.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but
history for the system is enforced. If we try to figure out, well, how can we get them to? They got to do. Well, we need some laws. We need some justice. Justice from a system that don't give a damn about you.
Okay, well then, if the laws are not going to protect us and we're not going to protect ourselves, then what is going to happen? Because posting anger on Facebook is not helping anything.
No, I get what you're saying. But it's been times where black people have tried to protect themselves and went about things accordingly and went about the law. What do you think the Black Panthers did? And look what happened to them. That's how strong white supremacy is.
Okay, but you're talking about we are a group of people who are and always have been under the authority of the host race. We either, so we don't want to assimilate to the point where, you get to kill us whenever you feel like killing us. Okay, we're not going to stand for that. But what are we going to do? Posting angry messages on Facebook isn't helping anything. Nobody's going to
build your own nation. You have to build your own. I understand. You can take care of your own, protect your own, have your own justice system. We have to build our own.
Oh, geez, something is happening. I can't hear anybody. I'm sorry.
Real quick, can I just add something real quick?
Hold on 1 second, bro. Hold on 1 second. I had to mute everybody. I'm sorry, hey, Sean. Somehow your call just dropped. But I couldn't hear over everybody yelling at the same time.
I couldn't hear.
My bad, Sean. I couldn't hear.
That was a justifiable mute. It was going there.
Can I get in real quick though? Because I think this is where the disconnect is. I think when people are saying that we have to figure out different tools for this and just compliance is not enough alone, we're not saying that means that you go completely the other way. No, there's a nuance to this. We're saying that we have to figure out different tools. Everybody needs a GoPro in their car, needs to record every stop, every interaction. We also need an app that brings you to a lawyer who can come on live and hear the stop. We also need to just come with the idea of identifying every officer in your local area and putting up their record. This person has a record of this, and distribute that through the community so people know, officer such and such, we have a problem with him. Now we need to go down to the city council, the mayor's office. This person cannot be here and work in this area. He is proven he's not qualified. He is incapable of handling this responsibility. So when I say that we have to think of other tools, I'm not saying just act ignorantly and just flail away at the system and kind of spill your blood for no reason. No. It has to be well-planned, well-structured like every other movement we've had and every other movement that has pushed this damn country somewhere close to being humane. It always come from our tradition.
I agree. Something has to be done, but I'm also saying that we need to keep our people as safe as possible, because when when they were training me on how to survive a stop with a police officer, I didn't sit there and say, oh, you know what, I might do that and they might shoot me anyway. No, I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do exactly what they tell me to do. I'm going to put my hands on the steering wheel. I never put my purse on the floor. I take my ID out. I lay it where it can be gotten, where nobody can accuse me of putting my hand someplace where it shouldn't be. I worked in that field, and I leave my house every day thinking, I want to survive if I get stopped by the police. This is what I want to make it home.
Now, sister, I have no problem with that. I totally agree with you. But that shouldn't be the end-all, be-all. This is why we have this show. This is why we have these conversations, so we can put these beautiful black minds together and come up with more ways than one. White supremacy attacks us from all angles. So we got to find a way to cover up all the holes in this boat that black people are in right now. I agree with you, and I agree with the brother right there, the same way I agree with Joseph. Jones, my bad. You feel what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. And just think about what you just said, because all of us do the things that you just talked about. Think about what they're doing, actually.
All right, hold on 1 second, because I got to get to some more callers, man. I hate to be so short with y'all. I'm trying to get everybody on so they can, speak their piece.
Should I hang up or can I? Hold on.
You can. No. You can stay on. I'm just going to mute y'all.
Oh,
okay. Don't go nowhere. I want you to definitely chop it up with us if we can get back to you. But we only got like 20 minutes left.
Okay.
And not Preston, but Lotus, I'm going to get to you in a second. I got Force. Nope, I got them on already. So I'm going to mute them. I got four. You know what? 9039, then is here. Then 4125, and I think we'll have time for 4784 after that if I haven't already gotten to you. All right, so 9039 right quick. What's good, fam?
What's good, my peoples? I made it.
What's good, big bro?
What's up with y'all, man?
Chilling, man. You missed it, man. We had a cop on the line.
Oh, for real?
A black cop.
Yeah. What he was talking about, man?
Deflected like a mother. deflected like a bug, man. I swear, man, it's all good though. But man, I was sitting here like I can't believe I'm hearing this shit. But no, what's good though, bro?
This the thing. This the thing, man. That I'm seeing with the police, man, especially the black ones, man. They want to stand in solidarity with us, right? But at the same time, what they don't understand is that we see the obligation you have to your cohorts. So no matter what you want to do for me as a black man, if them people call you and tell you I'm running, you got to come and help them. You got to come and do what they want you to do. You got to help your fellow officers first. I ain't never heard of a police officer coming to a scene and something happening and they save the man and go against the grain and get fired for another black man. That hasn't happened that I know of. You know what I'm saying? So when it come down, just being honest, your loyalty lies with the department. And I'm not even saying you're wrong. That's where you make your money at and whatnot. But don't try to present yourself as one of us. You know what I'm saying? You're law enforcement. So, I mean, and I'm not saying one of us as black. I'm saying one of us as the opposite side of law enforcement because you're still black. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't law enforcement no more, you probably would feel like we feel. But being that you're law enforcement, you are caught in the catch-22.
Facts.
I get the catch-22 part too, and the reason I'm gonna say I get that aspect of it is because you may be in a situation where that you know your partner or your department, you know, if they don't save your ass, you are the victim. I get that.
I mean,
how long are we okay? You know, like I was saying earlier, me personally, if you want to be a cop, fine. If you want to be one of those cops that is putting the department before your people, okay, but don't come back home. Stay there. You should not be allowed to come hang out at the club with us. You should not be allowed to come to my barbecue. Well, you ain't allowed to come to my barbecue. I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, we're allowing them to play both sides of the fence. We're giving them that pass.
Right.
It's like the whole situation
when this first happened,
where we are the majority.
You know, like I brought up the situation with Peter Lee Yang. His partner was black, and they killed the Kai Gurley in New York City. His partner was black, and so when Peter Lee Yang he refused to call the ambulance to get that brother some help because he know he fucked up because he wasn't supposed to have his gun out when the bullet ricocheted and killed that brother. His partner took up for him. They both called the sergeant. They texted the sergeant. They got this shit documented. So at that moment, he was looking at the shield, and he was looking at a black man dying on the ground, and he chose the shield. So, no, you're not one of us. You're not. Your loyalty is to that goddamn suit and that badge, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I hear you. You can have all the love in your heart you want to, but when you clock it in the morning and you pulling black people over, if your racist-ass partner that's in the car with you shoot me, you are not going to think about my safety before you think about his.
And see, the thing is, okay, so they saying now that I'm hearing them say, you know, this is just a job and blah blah blah. So if that's really the case, and you're willing to put us ahead of that, then you should be on the department because I seen a video earlier of a lady police, and she was talking about how it's disheartening to see the police do that and blah blah blah. But you're still a cop, and so as long as you're wearing that badge, you are affiliated with them from state to state. You have a fraternal order of police. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are partners in law enforcement across the United States, and so we can play this game like y'all don't have the same ideology, but we know that's just not the case. That's just not the case. And like I said, I'm not saying that all of them aren't pro-black or they're against their people. But what I'm saying is you're serving two masters because we see that law enforcement is not on our side. They're not. And we're at a point now where if you're with them, you're with them. You know what I'm saying? You have joined them, and it's us against them at this point. I mean that video I just saw, man, and seeing that little boy on stage up there on the TV crying and shit, man. Oh, my son 14, nigga. I used to sell CDs, dog. That could have been me. Hell no. I ain't got no love.
Thanks.
Now I will say one thing in regards to that lady police officer, and I'm gonna have to get another caller there too, bro.
Okay.
And I had to think about this too, because initially I had the same reaction, like and my reaction. She ain't say shit about Tamir Rice, and she in Cleveland. And she ain't say shit about when the cop jumped on the hood and unloaded, and then reloaded. She ain't say nothing then. I had to check myself because there's been a point in my life where I didn't have a problem beating somebody's ass for stepping on my shoe. My point was her doing that put her life at risk. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She is now a traitor amongst her own.
And that's the part of playing both sides of the fence.
Huh?
That's the part of her playing both sides of the fence, because now we already know that she's an enemy to the people that she worked for, to her police masters. You feel what I'm saying? But is the black community going to embrace her? Is she going to want this? Is she going to leave? Pretty much. Because at this point,
what limits are they going to? But what limits are they going to push you to, knowing now that you came out against them and you for us? What limits will they push you to? You understand what I'm saying? Where will they send you now to make you do something against your will and either just walk off the job or do something against your will?
Yeah, and so I must commend her for saying something. Whatever it was, this was like the straw that broke the camel's back for her, and that's all I'm saying is that at some point, even those because they understand at some point that they have kids. And I'll give you a good story. One time, I got arrested for a ticket I didn't pay one time, and so I'm in the cell, and I'm with this other cat who's just acting a total ass. I'm gonna keep it a stack, acting a total ass, And the cops didn't say anything to him, but you could tell that they was visibly irritating him, because dude was yelling and screaming and calling them, out their name, the whole nine. Okay, so when I get, they're getting ready to take me to go pay my little bond so I can pay my ticket and get out, the cop is like he just roughhousing me. And I'm like, I looked at him, I said, bruh, and I said, I'm a nurse. And I said, I have bad days. And the last thing you really want is for something to happen to you on your job and see me at mine.
Mm-hmm.
He took me downstairs. I said, I paid my fine. On the way, and he was the same cop that took me back to the cell. To this man's credit, and I will give him credit for at least considering that was a potential option in his life or a potential problem. Apologize.
Mm-hmm.
He was being a dick. He was being a dick.
Huh? Yeah, he knew it, and he was like, I never thought of it that way, and you right. So-and-so just had me a little, out of pocket, and I took it out of, and this is, I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty much quoting, and so-and-so, whatever dude's name was, had me out of pocket, and I took it out on you. You right, my bad. But they don't often see that lens. They don't see that, you are interdependent on us just like we are on you to a certain, for real, we all here. You may go to McDonald's after whooping that guy's ass and realize you got a big pile of shit on your Big Mac.
Cops been doing that. You feel what I'm saying? Now it's just it's visual now. But black people know that. Before I was here, you feel me? Like, now people across the world, when the whole thing with Rodney King happened, white people was like, oh my God. White people was like, that shit normal. So the problem I had, because we had the cop over here earlier talking, he was putting all the responsibility on the citizens. When it's recorded, documented history, facts, that if cops don't want to be blamed for beating black people up, how about they stop fucking beating black people up and shooting them? It's that fucking simple. You feel? Like, how is it my fault?
Let me get another call on here right quick too, man.
All right, man. Peace, man. Thanks for calling, bro.
All right, man. Salute. No doubt. And Sean, you on live, bro. If you ain't muted yourself.
Yeah, my bad. I'm just saying. I'm trying to calm down because I kind of got angry and hung up earlier. You know what I'm saying?
How long you been on, brother?
I've been on right now for like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I got a little pissed off and I hung up. I keep it 1,000. I just didn't like, with it. I don't know. I just wasn't agreeing with some of the stuff, and I just was like, what? Like, where are we going with this? What are we talking about?
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
I think I want to clarify. I think I know what she was talking about when she was saying, basically, she's looking at life in increments of 24 hours. How can I make it this day? What is my best strategy? She's breaking it down to a survival aspect to its most literal sense.
I get that.
Cool. And
I get that.
But that we need each other to overcome this bullshit. And I understand what she's saying. You know, we need each other, but we got to be living. So I guess it's a delicate balance. Like, you can say what you want. You could be the toughest motherfucker on the planet, but when them lights get behind your ass, you as polite as fucking possible at this point because you want to go home.
Yeah, because that's how you survive. That's you know what I'm saying. That's how you have to survive. You have to be nice to these. You know, sometimes they cook your ass anyway. Come on, let's be real. We done seen it. But
that's all I was saying.
That's the game. You got to play. You got to be. You got to soft shoe it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I hope you make it. I hope you make it. And it shouldn't be like that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
you know, because what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? 2 months right now, probably next week. Some same shit is going to happen again. It's going to continue to happen, and then we're going to keep like, well, what do we do? And we're going to keep talking the same thing. Oh, just, you know, when the cops come, be quiet. Some people talking the same shh. How do we stop it? How do you stop it? You do the same thing that the elders and the ancestors was trying to do. You build a nation, and you build around to where the point where you can self-sustain yourself. You don't necessarily need, you know, you have people backing behind you. You know, like, come on, they don't do this to Asians, because Asians have they have a power base. You know what I'm saying? They could buy, you know, money. They could get politicians behind them. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, black people ain't gonna come all together like that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have our little tribes. We're gonna have the Israelite, this and that, this, that, and this. But we still have to unify under one thing. You know what I'm saying? Under the suppression should pull our ass together. Look at what happened through the Civil Rights era. Everybody pulled together. That's because it was open season. They was doing shit wide open. So people had no choice but to pull together. Now it's so covert and there's so much propaganda that people don't even see the shit. You know what I'm saying? People miseducated. You know, just you know, you have people that be like, well, just worry about yourself. Be an individual. Okay, I'm going to be a black individual where I'm going to be targeted regardless because of my skin. I mean, some other people can be individuals and get away because they're not targeted like that. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is the same shit is going to keep, it's going to be a cycle until black people get it to a point where we can protect ourselves.
And I got to get to this 4125, but you can have both. I mean, we all do. You know, we all identify with something, a group of some kind. You know, us, we black, but we also individuals. You can have both, but I get what you're saying, and I kind of got what she's saying. I ain't trying to, like, you know, but
no, I wasn't disrespecting the system.
Oh no, like, we are definitely individuals because we all got to live for ourselves. But in this system where they will group you together and go ahead, do you think?
Cut off. 4125. I had to do the scratch sound on you right quick though. 4125. What's good, fam?
Oh, you know, what I heard today.
Oh yeah.
First of all, I have to say, with the one dude that was a cop, all that information was nothing but flutter and him trying to do damage control. Let's be honest with ourselves. Sociologically speaking, black men have been a target since day one. None of this is a surprise. None of this is new, okay? And to talk about what the King said just before I came on, when he was saying it was covert, actually now it's becoming overt because here in Ohio, like I said, there's a man hanging in Beechwood, in Akron. There's a man hanging in a freaking cemetery, you know what I'm saying? And both were deemed a suicide. No kind of real investigation, no kind of background, no nothing. This brother that was killed in his car, what is the likelihood of that cop really getting reprimanded? Let's talk about it. Let's not play games with this. Let's not talk about, oh, well, the community has got to come together. Well, that young lady that spoke about her boyfriend was talking the very next day about this, and the community came together. Now, let's see what law enforcement and the DA and all of them are going to do about this. Are they going to do what they did to that cop here in Cleveland that shot Tamir Rice have him go into hiding, you know what I'm saying, and it just basically is swept under the rug, you know, are they going to transfer him because he was a transfer from Independence, and then he comes to Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? And when I tried to join the police force, they went through me with a fine-tooth comb. Background check from the time I was a minor to now, criminal background check, credit check, physical, whole 9 yards. This guy gets in on a pass because he was in a suburban place where their police force is an army of 3. I mean, I don't understand. You know, there's always justification for the police. Oh, well, you know, he was stressed. He was under psychological, you know, stressors that caused him to do that. Well, what happens when, you know, a cop can literally think in his head, I can shoot this black man and still go golfing next day? You know, that guy that was on there made me so mad. It was utterly ridiculous. You know, and as was also said, was the fact that he's sitting up there talking about, you know, how the police are with people. With white people in particular, they've never gotten along with black people as far as law enforcement and civility was concerned, ever in life. Okay? I mean, it's a position of power. That's what it is. It's a power struggle.
Wayne?
Yeah,
go ahead. We got like 5 minutes left. So
I want to say this when I'm.
Hold on 1 second. What I'm getting ready, you know, is for the cops that's listening. I will say the dude was right about painting everybody with a broad stroke. However, it's really impossible for us to not make those strokes as far as the police are concerned. When the police don't seem to want to get it.
Exactly. Thanks. That's the problem right there.
You know, and that is the problem that, and I hope the brother's still listening. That's the problem that I personally, and from what I'm hearing, our listeners had a problem with what you were saying, is the fact that you did not seem to even conceptualize the fact that the problem started in-house, and the problem grew in-house, and the problem has now usurped the whole house.
If I know I can kill
go ahead.
If I know that I'm a racist white dude, fat racist white cracker, fuck it, I'm mad now. And I know for a fact that I could kill little Pookie or little Ray Ray and go on vacation for 2 to 4 months with pay. What makes you think that's not going to stop me from doing it?
Oh, and a GoFundMe.
And a GoFundMe. Oh, yeah, and I can raise $300,000 too? Really? Okay. I'm getting tired of this motherfucking uniform anyway. I'm getting too fat to sit in it. I'm about to go shoot me a nigga. That's exactly how they feel.
Let me ask you a question. Did I hear, like, somebody earlier say that affirmative action was one of the greatest things to happen?
Yes, and that was utterly ridiculous.
I ignored that. I ignored that. I heard that. I was utterly ridiculous.
Whoever said that, man, that shows.
The cop said that. The cop said that. The cop said that. Now that I remember. The cop said that.
You know,
I don't think he exactly said that, but I do. He said something. I'm trying to remember.
That's right. He said
that, Josh.
But I remember the affirmative. He said something. And then he
said affirmative action, affirmative education. That's what he was trying to lead to. That's because I do remember him saying that.
He was affirmatively wrong.
Exactly.
That's what
anybody that know about affirmative action already know that ain't really do nothing for black people. So now
on the affirmative education aspect, I agree with that part.
Okay. Now, but it sounds good in theory and in plan. It sounds good in theory and in plan, but you already know they're gonna railroad black people with that shit again. Affirmative education probably fuck around and end up with somebody being in a DEC class to a super DEC class. Instead of them playing with crayons all day, they could be playing with wood blocks. That's going to be an affirmative education for black people.
Education is good depending on the curriculum.
Oh, I have no problem with education. But if you have a racist white person teaching you education and telling you that your people wasn't slaves, but they was indentured servants, and they chose to come from Africa to America to work for free, then what is it really helping?
AJ,
if a person could tell a child that slavery was the best thing that happened to them because they knew about Jesus, let's talk about that. You know, when you're told that slavery, and a black woman said this, I went in on her with no mercy.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
My point is, that education that you're talking about, AJ, if you want to go to college, you either are going to pay for that same slanted education or not. I'd prefer to not pay for that education.
I get what you're saying.
Yes,
I get what you're saying, but it sounds good in theory.
They're not, they're not doing the job that they should be. However, especially in certain professions, if you want to be a lawyer, you have to go to school. Period.
No, I get what you're saying.
I agree. We definitely, schools should be free for us. So I'm down.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's good in theory though. But how will it be acted out? Because if we're going to compare affirmative action to affirmative education, that just means it's going to be more smart white bitches running around. Because affirmative action didn't help black people. They just moved little Charlie up from working the counter in the drive-thru to the fries. And now he's in the system manager.
But what is going to be the affirmative education? Because we all know that this education.
Right. I mean, that's why I said it sounds good in theory.
They're not giving especially if they're not teaching you about. Come on, being a black in America, you need a better education. You need a real education. You know what I'm saying? You need to get in love with your culture.
It goes back to numbers, though. It goes back to numbers because the quality of that.
Hey, I see we got to chill it out for a second. Now, what I'm trying to say is that for some things in this world, in this community, the United States, however you want to call it, it requires certain educational goals to be met. Yes, we already know that education is fucked up from the point of teaching about black people. We understand that. However, if you want to be an attorney, you got to do it their way under this rule system. Now, if we can get that shit free, I'll take it. No, all right.
I get you. Now, no, I totally get what you're saying. But we don't know if that's how they're going to go about it, though. They might just sell you this dream that affirmative education is you going to school for free, but in all reality, they're just saying that your kid is smart enough to pass the third grade being in this remedial class because he colored in the lines this time.
So
you don't know how they're going to act it out.
Jobs right though. You gotta pay. You gotta if you want to make it in their system to be a lawyer within their system that you're there, you have to go to their school and get education. And that's why I say if we got to change the system. We got to create our own system. If we don't do that, we're gonna keep talking about the same issues we talking about right now. Being sad and mad because we being treated a certain way within their system. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
So now put it like this: if affirmative education comes along, that's still going to be under their guidelines in their system, though, correct? I mean, when has the system ever benefited black people 100% completely around the board? Anything? Just give me an idea.
Nobody said that though. Nobody can.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So I get what you're saying, and that's why I say it sounds good in theory. And if it did happen that way, I would be totally for it. But I know that they would sell us the idea of affirmative education, and nothing would come out of it for black people. Because I've seen it too many times that happen to black people in America. That's why I'm always iffy about it, and I always keep my eyes on the white supremacists. But it does sound good the way that you explained it.
And I agree with you, but at the same time, I wouldn't just be like no without.
No, I wouldn't say no either. You're right.
I agree. You feel me? And because until Sean Wright, until we build our own nation, we for certain things we have to accomplish the goals that they set out. Unfortunately, and
we have the mercy and the will of somebody else.
Like when we interviewed Louis DeFaz. Oh, and if y'all haven't heard, the convention for the oppressed is coming up in July 14th to the 17th in Cleveland. Y'all definitely need to check that out. The roster is just sick. But Malik,
you got the all-star table of black people.
Going to the white man's institution.
Yeah, he went to Howard University.
Right, and you know what? You are right. I take that back. You get what I'm saying, though.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
So I apologize to all Howard students, current, past, present, and future. But he used, he still had to go to take the bar. He still had to follow certain guidelines within the system. And then once he got through that, he used that to his advantage completely.
Facts. Yeah, that'll make you a triple threat as a black man. Conscious, got the white man's education, and you about your people. That make you a triple threat. I'm not against that at all. I'm not against that at all.
Any of y'all ever seen the spook that sat by the door? If we're gonna go into their institutions, we got to bring something back. That's it.
Fact.
Go ahead.
Fact. You know, and I don't think that as a community we give them enough. Hey, but man, this has been a lit show, man. Salute to everybody that's called up, man. Definitely appreciate. Man, I don't think we got this many shares in a long time, man. Definitely appreciate the interest. I hate that it had to be on this type of topic, but you know what? We're not gonna stop talking about it. And more importantly, we're gonna have to figure out what we can do about it. Because I'm tired of this shit, just like Sean is, just like AJ is, and I know you are too. I'm tired of this show.
Can I say one thing, brother? Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Black people, we just seen what happened within the past 24 hours to two of our brothers. If you still sitting around talking about the new retros that's coming out, how you would kill another nigga for stepping on these retros, how big your Twinkies is, and you sitting on wood grain, and you don't give a fuck about black people, fuck you. You are not my brother, and you are not black like me. Your melanin has been disqualified. You are eliminated out of my opinion. If you still gonna be on that ignorant shit and hurting your family and not coming together and loving your brother, because we all we got at this point in time right now, I don't want no dealings with you.
And that Turner would have blew your head off. Harriet Tubman would have blew your head off.
My head?
The people you talk about. Harriet Tubman
was. I don't want to say damn. I don't want to die. I don't want to say damn. I thought that was powerful. You feel me? I'm about to die.
Nah. Harriet Tubman would have blew those brothers' heads off.
Mm-hmm. This is.
Yeah, that's bro. Hey man, but we gonna get through this. You know what? And we gonna come up with some shit. I'll take one thing from that cop, and that was, you know what? Yeah, we do need to come up with some solutions and enact them. And when we do, I think a lot of your police officer friends is gonna regret the fact that we was ignited to such an extent. So
you want to know what's crazy? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say it was crazy. Yeah. The solutions is there, and they've been there. It's just, it's just hard to get them going through propaganda and everything else.
Right. It was something that, like I said, I gave him a couple solutions, and I repeated myself a couple of times. But he heard everything else I said, but somehow my phone kept breaking up when I said the solutions.
Yeah, he was acting like he
did. But
I heard.
I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna salute him for calling up. I definitely appreciate that.
It was very respectful.
99% of what you said. However, the only way that we can get our brothers and sisters, at least a couple of them, back in tune with who they are, is by talking to them. Maybe that guy will think about the conversation. Maybe he won't, but maybe some other cop out there listen, and maybe tomorrow they're gonna wake up a new black man or woman and a better police officer.
That's what happens to be a police officer. He's black first. And black people let's not take our eyes off the prize and don't fall into the illusion of shiny object. I don't mean to say it like y'all retarded, because I know y'all not. You feel what I'm saying? Next week, this video game coming out, and you forgetting all about the struggle. We still in this shit. A lot of us are one traffic stop away from being the hashtag. So this is serious.
On that note, man, we're gonna stop it right there. That's perfect. We all are one stop away from being a hashtag. That was dope, AJ. Hey man, y'all have a good one, man. We love y'all. And don't forget, you see the post, share the post, check out the groups, All Black Everything, My Skin Is My Sin. Check out the website, myskinismysin.com. And I thought I wrote it down. Oh, yep, apparently I did not. I had another website I wanted to tell y'all about, and I do. Actually, the website is Design Monet. That's D as in David, E-S-I-G, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, O-N as in Nancy, E as in Echo, E as in Echo, .wix, W-I-X.com. Check that out for some really, really, really dope handcrafted letters and wooden figurine type things. So just check it out. And y'all have a good one, man. Peace out.
Peace, family. Love y'all. Not all y'all, though.
I'm black, y'all. Oh.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Adding the choice of a crispy chicken BLT to Wendy's 4 for $4 is the biggest thing since rappers trying to sing.
I got me a yacht and I sound like a robot.
But do you like the sound of this? Wendy's 4 for $4 now comes with a choice of a junior bacon cheeseburger or a crispy chicken BLT.
From Detroit to Macon, I keep it crisp like bacon.
Both are topped with crispy Applewood smoked bacon and come with 4 nuggets, fries, and a Coke for just $4.
Oh, yeah.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time, meal includes small fries and a drink. Not valid in Alaska and Hawaii.